Hello and welcome to Baffling Cyclops. I'm David.
And I'm Pepper Proxy.
And it has been quite a week.
It has been quite a week. Guess what I did this week?
What's that?
I cleaned out the pantry.
It's so exciting.
It's really exciting for me. I know it's less exciting for you, but I learned a few things.
Oh yeah? What did you learn cleaning out the pantry?
Well, one, I learned we are out of bucatini, and I want to talk about that in a little bit. And two, I know I could rank different types and brands of storage containers because I decanted some items into clear containers, airtight containers, and then I even got a P-Touch label maker and made labels. But one of the things that I did learn was if I were to purchase more containers for the pantry, the ones I would probably least likely buy were the most expensive ones.
What are they, OXO? Or?
Yeah, I say OXO. I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it, or OXO. Yeah, because in theory they're very nice. They are very nice, but I don't think like for the money they're not as good as the ones that you bought for me for my birthday at Costco.
Yeah, what if their name isn't OXO? What if it's Hugs, Kiss, Hug?
I think that must be it. It's a popular brand, giving out all those hugs and kisses. So I do think that the best storage container, at least for our needs, would be the ones from Costco.
The ones from Costco? I can't remember what they're called, but they're kind of a bakery set, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and they had little attachments, which were nice that you could, like, there was a little disc that you soak in water, like a red clay disc, and you soak it in water and you clip it into the top of the brown sugar container, so your brown sugar stays moist and pliable.
So moist brown sugar, good,
Yeah.
good. And I know there are little scoops in those too.
Yeah, little scoops. The other thing is that brand isn't exclusive to Costco, and I looked it up to see like what other sizes and stuff. And the set at Costco that they're selling for $29 is almost twice as much like if you just bought it somewhere else or bought it online.
So bargain.
It was a bargain. I got 2 sets of that one.
It's good. And you got a good price on it. Mm-hmm. And did you learn any other lessons cleaning out the pantry?
The other lesson that I learned was that expired food is not something to be emotionally attached to or to justify keeping, because we are pretty tidy and I'm pretty well organized typically, but there's something in my soul that has a struggle throwing out food, and I had some vinegar in there in the pantry from 2016.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, it's vinegar. Vinegar lasts forever. And then I was like, no, I don't need to keep vinegar from 5 years. That expired 5 years ago.
You don't.
No.
You can free that vinegar.
I did. I did, and it felt good. It felt good to get rid of a lot of that stuff, because then it makes the things that I cook with frequently so much more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So did that, and in doing that, learned we were totally out of bucatini, and because of that, we took a trip. Because our friend Alicia recommended, is it Big John? PCI?
PFI, I think.
PFI, Pacific Food International, I think. To head on over there, which is within walking distance of our house.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a cool Italian grocery store with a lot of imported items and a giant cheese and meat case.
Yeah.
A little bit of wine, not too much wine, but a little bit of wine. And a whole 2 full aisles of pasta, 1 aisle of canned seafood.
Can we talk about the canned seafood and fish?
Sure.
Normally, I would be repulsed by that. But because of the way it was packaged, I was very intrigued.
There was a lot of cool packaging. I took a picture of it, especially the sardine tin to send to Joe so that he could see the illustration. Because there was one brand, I don't remember what the name of it was, but there was one brand that was particularly nice. Although there were all of the brands were nice, and that's when I heard that a lot of people are attributing the resurgence of sardines in the U.S. to better packaging.
That makes so much sense.
Because when it was like the old-fashioned packaging...
Well, were the only people I knew of that ate sardines.
Right, and they're trying to say, like, no, this is actually kind of a luxury product. Mm-hmm. And so they repackaged it to make it look more like a luxury product and less like something that your grandpa would, put in his pocket to eat at the park while he fed the pigeons.
Well, I distinctly remember sardine cans, and the ones we buy for Joe at Costco might have this. I'd need to ask him, but they would had it like a weird key. Mm-hmm. And you would twist it, and the same thing for canned meat. You would insert this key and twist the key, get the tin would coil around the key. Mm-hmm. And open up the can.
It was weird too, because I know some people thought you could reseal it with the key,
you
unfurl that flag.
You can never unfurl that flag for canned fish. Oh, could you imagine?
No.
Putting that back in your pocket, your dungarees.
Dungarees.
After you fed the birds at the park.
Yeah. So that was Big John's was I actually really liked it. I thought it was nice.
I loved it.
Yeah, the people were nice and very helpful. The other thing we got there that I know you especially enjoyed was the blonde chocolate.
Oh my goodness, I had never had blonde chocolate.
Will you describe what that is?
Yeah, well, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of white chocolate. I know that's a flavor.
Controversial.
It's controversial. Thank you. But blonde chocolate it seems like it's white chocolate that has been slightly caramelized. And it is so delicious. It's so good. I savored every little disc.
Yeah, and I even, I got you kind of secretly while we were there, a bar of Swiss milk chocolate called Milk Boy brand. And
you did.
And you also liked the Milk Boy.
I like a Milk Boy. I sure do.
They're
nice and creamy.
Yes.
But guess what? They didn't have any bucatini.
I know they were out of bucatini and said they were going to get a bucatini shipment in the next day. But it was Sunday. You didn't trust that.
No, because I was like, well, I have to take that back. They weren't completely out of bucatini. They had this really questionable
gluten-free bucatini.
Or was it Greek bucatini?
It was gluten-free. It was on the gluten-free shelf.
Yeah, and it was a really bright kind of yellow color. Mm-hmm. I didn't trust it.
No, I think it was bucatini made from the middles of sunflowers.
Sunflower bucatini.
Yeah, it was dandelion bucatini.
Buttercup
bucatini, yeah. So they had that, which was really nice, and we went there because it was your birthday.
Yay! Yeah, I had a great birthday.
Well, and happy birthday.
Thank you. I love, you got me peanut earrings.
Yes.
I love those.
For obvious reasons.
I love them. They're so cute.
Yeah, little gold peanut danglers
that
come down from your ear. I got them from a woman on Etsy and they came she made a nice little cloth
It's
bag.
like a little fox. It's like fox fabric print, like a Ditsy print. So cute. I love them. Thank you.
Yeah. I remember you used the phrase in conversation a couple weeks ago, Ditsy Gingham.
What were we talking about?
No, well, what does Ditsy mean in terms of fabric?
Ditsy is like a descriptor for like smallish, like kind of a cottage core fabric, like Little House on the Prairie.
So Ditsy, what does the Ditsy part describe?
The pattern. So it's like small.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I'm not like a
I just wondered
fabric expert, but that's what I know it to be, like a repeat pattern, typically small, usually floral, but you could have Ditsy other thing like Ditsy hearts
and Ditsy Gingham.
well,
which was what your phrase.
That was my drag name.
That would be a good drag name for someone for sure. Ditsy Gingham would have kind of a serving half pint realness. I think was what we said.
I think I was on a rant too, and I can't remember what my rant was, but I was ranting about something, and I said Ditsy Gingham as like a put down.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember either. But that person never recovered that you were describing.
Yeah, I was giving them shade.
Yeah. So some peanut earrings and
you got me a Lazarus t-shirt,
Lazarus
which is
t-shirt.
Amazing.
from which is the store where you dressed up as Willoughby Weebach.
Yeah, back in the olden days when I worked at the department store.
Yeah, it was their logo from the time period when you worked there.
It's funny because you've gifted me other department store T-shirts, like back from
Toledo. Mostly. Yeah.
I have a Tip Keys and what is the other one you got me?
Franklin
Park Mall, and a
Toledo
DeVilbiss,
Zoo.
yeah, and a DeVilbiss Tiger shirt. 'Cause DeVilbiss was the high school I went to. But those are like they're like reproduction T-shirts from a great company that is based in Toledo. But this Lazarus T-shirt is very different than those.
Yeah, this one is actually still made by Macy's because the store that you worked in was part of Federated.
Yeah, bought out by Federated back in the 80s.
Yeah, and then Macy's bought out. They replaced the whole brand with Macy's just to kind of generically make everything Macy's.
And they did that with many department stores.
Right. It wasn't just that one, but in Columbus, that Lazarus pull is still pretty strong, and I think they still sell that Lazarus shirt at some of the Macy's that are now, that were Lazarus's but are now Macy's. They sell that Lazarus shirt.
I think they do. And the funny thing, I distinctly remember Joe and myself and some of the other people that worked in the display department. We had to wear those T-shirts like on Black Friday and try to sign people up for the credit card, or like help out in the shoe department because I loved it. It was really fun for me. And I remember when I would wear the Lazarus T-shirt and try to sign people up for the credit card, I got $2 per credit card sign up.
Nice.
It was good income. I have to say, like nowadays when people try to sign you up for a department store credit card, I know it's so irritating. It was probably really irritating back then as well. But man, I could rake in some big bucks with that.
Yeah.
It's a little side hustle.
A little tight Lazarus shirt.
Yeah. This shirt is so weird because it's cotton and it has like a thicker collar and it's a little tighter across the chest, but the armholes are loose, and then it's really long, but not in a flattering way. It's not the most flattering T-shirt, but I love it.
Yeah, it's more of a Lazarus fun run shirt than a Lazarus working the shoe department.
Yeah, the 5K.
When you worked in the shoe department, since you weren't a shoe department employee, did they have you run shoes like you were taking? Yeah.
Yeah. And it was so much fun. Like, not everybody loved it, but I loved it. I loved being on the sales floor on those days. Like, it was so magical. I don't think, well, I don't know if we'll ever get back to that department store feeling on a big sale day. But it just was like, the energy was like so awesome. Oh, I think we wore those t-shirts when we gave out Lassie Bears.
Ah.
That might be where it's from.
Which is the Christmas mascot of the Lazarus department store, we should say.
Yeah.
Which is a white teddy bear.
Wearing like a red Fair Isle hat and a little scarf. I don't think they could give them out now. Then there was a Lassie dog, too. I don't think they could give them out because those scarves don't seem like they're safe.
I'm wondering why they named him Lassie. The dog...
For Lazarus.
I know, but it just seems weird. It's like, that's Lassie Bear, and that's Lassie Dog, and there comes Lassie Chinchilla.
Well, when we met, do you remember I had bags full of Lassie Bears and Lassie Dogs?
I remember your Lassie Bears. I don't remember the Lassie Dog.
Well, and before we met, because I worked in the display department, we had they're ginormous Lassie Bears and Lassie Dogs, like much larger than a human. They were ginormous, and I got one of the big Lassie Dogs and one of the big Lassie Bears, and gave them to our nieces, Amanda and Madeline, when they were little girls. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how my sister felt about it because those giant plushies took up a lot of space. But man, the girls were tickled. They loved them.
It's that same energy that those giant teddy bears that they sell at Costco like 3 or 4 times a year, like that size.
Okay, so if you
so people know,
if you know how big those Costco bears are, the Lassie Bear and Lassie Dog 4 times the size of the Costco bear.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My sister Betsy had, I can't remember what kind of car she had. She had a smaller compact car, and she still lived in Toledo, and obviously I was in Columbus. We had to shove those things. They took up her entire car. It was like it was the size of a Ford Focus, but I don't know. I can't remember the car she had, but she could barely drive home because it was stuffed. They were stuffed in her car.
All right.
Yeah.
You're making flashing eyes at me.
I know, because I'm the memory. The memory of them.
You're giving me the look, and I'm like, I don't know.
I was so excited to give those plushies to the girls, too. I'm so excited.
Those were huge.
Yeah, it was fun.
And, of course, we continue to watch The Stand week by week.
What are your thoughts?
I'm enjoying it. I haven't read the book. We talked about this before, but I haven't read the book, and I think it's good.
Yeah. I think I've read the book a few times.
Yes.
And the different versions of the book.
That's why you were so prepared for coronavirus.
Okay.
Because as soon as they start like that first and back in February, I remember you coming into the bedroom saying, "Captain Trips is here. Captain Trips is here." And
in my and my granny panties.
Yeah. And handing me a mask. And then we started.
We did race to Costco and went to the grocery store. We spent a whole day going to grocery stores.
And that night I had a dream about Whoopi Goldberg.
I'm sorry.
That's just how it is. So
I know. I do think that this version of The Stand is very well cast.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the other one, but it seems well cast. I'm enjoying the actors.
Yeah, if you did, because I read the book, I kind of had an idea of the characters in my head, and I definitely think, I don't know about Whoopi though. She's probably the one that I'm just like, okay.
You think?
Yeah.
She seems fine to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Whoopi Goldberg.
Mother Abigail is so much older than Whoopi that even though they are aging her in this miniseries.
With her gray dreadlocks.
Yeah. Didn't you tell me the women that she is on that show with made fun of her?
Yeah.
Or one of them did?
Yeah, for having those. Because she had to wear them for like a year.
Because the filming took a long time.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. But I haven't had a problem with Whoopi Goldberg. She seems very, very nice.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun to, I was so excited. I was so looking forward to this miniseries. And I'm enjoying it too.
Yeah. It's good. So, tonight, you said you might make some hot peppers.
Yes.
And pepper oil. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you were making a joke about my name.
No.
Yeah, so I might make some chili. I need to look up the recipe on YouTube though, because I like that one woman who her recipe is really good. Mm-hmm. But because we have room in the pantry, I was gonna maybe whip some of that up.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I love your pepper oil.
Thank you. Thank you. It's perfectly named.
It is perfectly named. And you can put that clay disc in there and have moist pepper oil.
I hope the oil keeps the peppers moist. I don't know if I need the disc, but I do have a backup disc because you got me that second set for my birthday.
So who knows what you'll do with that?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just put it in my mouth so my mouth doesn't get dry.
Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. And to read our show notes, sign up for our newsletter at bafflingcyclops.com.